Hey everybody, welcome to Raincross Farms Makery. My name is Robin.
I'm
and
William.
Messing with the phone right now is my husband Bill. And we are coming to you just outside of Lewiston, Idaho. We want to welcome you to our craft studio. We have a fun craft tonight. It's kind of a Halloween theme, but it could be completely year-round. So we are glad to have you. So I'm going to take just a second to pull up the live on my page here. And
You need to pin it?
if you would pin that comment for me.
I can do that.
Thanks so much.
I know what I'm doing.
So, when you're here, hop on, say hello, let us know you're out there so we don't feel like we're just talking to ourselves. I'm going to have a drink of my decaf coffee so I get some moisture. You know what? I don't think I have my there I go. Now I have my microphone on. Hopefully you can hear me better. Hi Leanna, welcome. How's everything? Hey Cheryl, hope you're feeling better. Yes, well, for some reason the fur, oh, here comes the fur baby. The fur babies abandoned us for a minute or two, but one of them's back. Feathered babies are probably, it's almost dark, so they're probably in bed. Anyway, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for watching. We certainly appreciate it. If you're watching, if you would give our page some love or a like and follow our page if you're not already, and sprinkle it out to your page to if you have a friend that likes Halloween crafts, tag them in the comments, and or to your any craft groups you belong to, or just to your page in general. We also have our stars activated. We so appreciate any of this help that you can give us. Thank you so much. Okay, much better since we got the rain to clean the smoke out of the air. Yes, we had, well, I think the worst of our smoke was while we were gone on our cruise. So that was kind of a blessing to us. But yeah, we had quite a bit of smoke here too. Anybody else hopping on? I see my people are greeting each other. We're just like a little family here. So, what we're going to do is we are going to make a pillow tonight. We're going to use ink and we're going to make a pillow, and we are going to use this transfer. It's not one of our brand new ones, but it's one that they brought back from last year. And at a distance, it just kind of looks like this jaggedy pattern, but if you look up close, it is cats all lined up together. It is called Feline Fine Pattern. So we are going to put this on a pillow. I have had my eye on this for more than a year, and it's about time I make it. It could be Halloween-ish. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to do your cats in black, and black cats aren't only around at Halloween time, so use your imagination. But we're gonna call this a Halloween project.
It's having problems.
Here and back. Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's us. I don't know if it's Facebook. Anyway, I don't know what you heard, but this is our pillow cover. And it comes in a pack of 2. It is made out of canvas. It's a square pillow cover. It measures 17.5 by 17.5. So you could get an 18-inch square pillow form. Fits in here just perfectly. And it's awesome. You can get pillow covers a lot of different places. I know even IKEA has one. They have a 20 by 20, which is, there'd be a lot of leftover, but that would work too. But this is just perfect for our transfers. I love the canvas on it. And before we get started, it comes out of the package. It's a little wrinkly. So I'm just going to take my Cricut Easy Press, and I'm just going to press it real quick. I don't have to do this because I'm going to stick an ink mat in here. You'll see that in a moment. So, what's going on with everybody? Happy Friday night. It is Friday, right? This is kind of the first day that we have kind of felt like getting out of bed and taking care of business. Went into town. I had a doctor's appointment for something unrelated. It was giving me problems till I left, closed, and reopened my browser. Okay. It may not have been you, Cheryl. I think it was
It's Facebook.
It's a Facebook problem. But if that worked for you, great. Okay, so I've kind of
So wait a minute, back up. Where did you get that? Where'd you get the?
I got this from my shop. This is our Truck Couture. It even has a little fancy sticker. They are in stock right now. Comes in a package of 2. If you're interested in the supplies, I'll tell you right now. The comment is Feline, Feline, like the cat, not Felix, Feline. And I have a link to the pillow covers and the transfer and the ink. One of the supplies that you might want is currently out of stock for another week or 2, but there are ways around using that. So anyway, I have kind of gotten this pressed just a little bit, and I'm going to open it up. It has this really nice invisible zipper. I'm going to use my ink mat. This is my, is this 16 by 16? No, this is 17 by 17. This is 17 by 17 ink mat. It is just a plastic mat, and it is sticky. So it's a lot like a Cricut mat. So this serves 2 purposes. I'm going to stick it in between the layers because when I put the ink down, the ink is a little thinner than our paste, and it could bleed through the canvas through to the back layer, which we wouldn't want. I think this canvas is thick enough it wouldn't do that, but we're not going to take the chance. It also, because it's sticky, it also holds the fabric in place. So if I hadn't ironed it, I could just push it out on the sticky and flatten it out, and I wouldn't have had any wrinkles. Okay, so I'm going to kind of have to roll it just a little bit to get it in there because the zipper is just a little bit thinner. Now, sadly, this ink mat is out of stock right now. So if you don't already have one, you could do it without. It'd be a little trickier. Or you could just find yourself a great big cardboard box and cut it about 17 by 17 square and stick it in. The more perfectly it fits the pillowcase, the better it will work for you. And there's a tag in here, and I'm gonna put it to the back of the ink mat, so I don't get a little lip. So this works really fast. Our ink is permanent. So when I finish this, I'm gonna be able to wash this pillowcase, and it's going to stay perfectly. Okay, it's gonna stay perfectly adhered to the fabric. Okay, so I'm pushing out any wrinkles, and I am good to go. Okay, any questions so far? Tell me if any of you have used our ink before. I know a lot of you have used paste, but have you gone over and used the ink? I don't have to use ink on this. I could use paste, however, I wouldn't be able to wash it. And I might want to be able to wash this. But if it's going to be someplace that is not going to get dirty, you're not ever going to have to wash it, you could use paste if you wanted to. You're too scared to ruin something. Well, then start with a small project. Okay, so I'm going to carefully pull this off. It's a lot of screen and a lot of sticky too. Okay, So it's sticky. I'm putting it on fabric so I don't need to fuzz it. If you get it flipped over and it sticks to itself, don't panic. Just slowly and gently start to pull it apart and it should release and you can get it to lay flat. If, however, you're having to really tug at it, it's not wanting to release, go run it under some cool water and that will ease up the stickiness and it will allow you to pull it apart. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over, sticky side down, and I'm putting my zipper at the bottom. You can put your zipper, you can put it wherever you'd like, but I'm going to put it at the bottom and I'm going to center this as well as I can onto the fabric. And I'm going to make sure I don't have any lumps or bumps or fabric that is, that's a little bit off center. So I'm going to fix it just a little bit. Okay, and I think some of this is stuck in there. I don't want to get that. Okay, so pushing it down, make sure all of the sticky is adhered. And I still don't like that centered. I'm going to bring it back down just a tad.
Okay, I'm back.
Bill is back. He is busy playing with our new little toy.
I'm not playing with it. I'm getting your stuff ready.
He's working with our new little toy.
Cheryl says she's scared of bleeding. Did you cut her?
Oh,
don't use that word.
Oh yeah, be careful.
Don't use that word.
Don't type CUT and be careful about typing bleed. Don't want you to get put in Facebook jail. Okay, so pushing that all down. And I'm going to chalk this. I'm going to ink this in our black velvet ink. So it will look kind of black and white, but that's actually a canvas, I don't know, off-white, ivory. Okay, I feel like that's good. And if it bleeds, that's okay. But Cheryl, practice with an old t-shirt. Not too old. Actually, be careful with used t-shirts because sometimes they have kind of pilling that you might not even, if it's been washed a time or two. I wouldn't so much practice with a used t-shirt, but I'd practice with a very inexpensive t-shirt, like something you picked up from the Dollar Tree. And just practice with it till you get the hang of it. The key, there's a couple of keys. Make sure it's very well pressed down. I like it better when the paste, when I get it to work. Oh, like it better than the paste when you get it to work. It cleans up a lot better than the paste, I will say that. Okay. So you make sure it's adhered. Don't press too hard when you chalk it on. The harder you press, the higher the risk of it bleeding out. And only go in one direction. Like go from top to bottom, all the way through, or left to right. But don't go back and forth because you can be pushing out that ink past your little margins here. Okay, so I'm going to use, I could use my Big Daddy. What did I do with the Big Daddy?
Just as a warning.
Yes.
I didn't turn on the fan.
Uh-huh. Okay. I could use the Big Daddy. This is our, I don't even know what it's called. It's our great big squeegee, super large squeegee. And this would get this done super quick. But since probably most of you don't have this, I'm going to do it with our small squeegee. And it works just as well. Okay, so I'm going to start with our black velvet ink. And just check the lid. It says ink. Ink is our permanent option. It has to be heat set to be permanent. Okay, so I'm going to start putting some on here. And I'm just going to firmly, but not, I'm not pushing super, super hard. Just making sure that gets covered. And this is good. It's got a lot of screen, so it's going to take quite a bit. Be careful you don't go off the edge. I just about did there. So don't go too fast. You don't want to go off the edge because our ink is permanent. So if I get it somewhere where I don't want it, it's probably going to stain. I might be able to lighten it, but it's pretty much going to be there. So I want to be careful. I'm not getting it on my fingers either. So I'm not touching. Oops, see, like I just got it on my fingers. So I'm going to have to be very careful with that.
Whoopsie. I heard that.
Okay. That's bugging me. The ink doesn't dry as quickly, so I'm going to be able to do this entire project and not worry about it drying in the screen because our ink takes longer to dry. Okay, but I'm going to get that off of my fingers so I don't make a mess. And I've got this little corner here I'm trying to get covered. Okay, back up to the top. Again, firmly so it's going through the screen, but I'm not pushing super, super hard. I'm going to make sure the screen gets covered. And I'm going to keep that going. Oop, I see a bubble. I see a bubble, so that could cause a bleed. It's not going to matter. It'll be fine. But I'm going to not go over that part anymore because that will only make it worse. Okay. Now, just because it's the edge, I'm kind of going up, down to up, but I'm going to switch back over. I'm just trying to get those edges.
We're doing again?
We are doing. Okay, I'm feeling it squishy again. So I'm going to make sure I'm pushing that down. So I could have a little bit of bleed. We'll see. And actually I don't think it'll matter much because it's just an all over pattern and your eye would have to go straight to it. But you can kind of see when you're pasting, if you kind of see a bubble come up, an air bubble, that means your sticky part is not completely adhered. So just go gently over that part. And that's another time when it helps to just go in one direction.
I'm not on the computer. I'm trying to get you some stuff to tempt people with. Hey, pick that.
Okay, get that. Just when you're at the corners and the edges, just go gently, slowly, carefully. If you rush, you chance getting ink where you don't want it if you go over the edge. This is kind of peeling up a bit. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to scrape up any excess that I see. And I can kind of see it's kind of lifting, and that's okay. We are living and learning. We are going to clean our fingers so I don't have any black on them. And I'm not paying any attention to comments, which I don't see a whole lot of comments. Okay, so what also helps is that mat underneath there holds my fabric in place. Okay, very little bleeding, even though I could kind of feel it squishing around a little bit. Because I was going straight down in straight lines, it came out really cute. Look at my feline fine.
That's so cute.
Isn't that cute? Yay. Okay, so I'm going to put my ink away. I'm going to completely move it off my table so I don't accidentally get ink anywhere. Now, to make this permanent, I need to heat set it. My foster grandkids came to see me this afternoon. Highlight of my week. How fun. Okay, I'm painting, Joanne. Hey, Joanne. Painting the outside of the new house and listening to you. Is it not dark there? You painting in the dark? You've probably got floodlights up. Okay. We got to, and Joanne knows about this. Joanne knows them too. We got to see our adopted granddaughters today. We have a couple of young ladies that actually live down in Southern California near where my sister-in-law lives. And they are attending a private Christian college up here in Idaho, about 45 minutes away from us. And so it's a little worrisome for their parents to have their daughters away from home, this far away from home. And so we said that Joanne told them that we lived here and that we would keep an eye on them. So we actually went up there and took them out to lunch today. They are just adorable young ladies. Okay, so I'm removing it from the sticky mat. And again, if you don't have a sticky mat, you can do this. You definitely want to put something in between your layers so that if there's any ink, it won't bleed through. I don't see any ink bleed through on this, so that canvas is pretty dense. Okay, now before I heat set it, ideally I'm going to let this sit overnight, 24 hours, till that ink dries. But you don't want to wait 24 hours, do you? You don't want to wait overnight. So I'm going to take my quick dry tool. This doesn't get super, super hot, but we are going to take a minute and kind of dry it to the touch so that we can heat set it. And some of this ink is kind of thick, so we want to give it a good amount of time to dry. The reason you want it to dry is if it is still wet and I put the heat down on it and I happen to kind of slide, I can smudge it, smear the ink. So I don't want to do that. Joanne, you need this kitty cat pillow because you have kitty cats. Yours are little, 6 years and under. That's sweet. That's a sweet age. Ours are, let's see, she must 18 and 19, I would guess. One just graduated from high school and the other one graduated the year before. So, Cosette and Gabby, if you're watching, hello. They're probably not watching. They're probably doing homework. That's what they told us they were going to do this weekend. I kind of believe them. Okay, so this is kind of a big piece, so it's going to take me a minute. Take me a hot minute to get this kind of dried. isn't that cute? Now you don't have to do it in black and white. I just did it in black because I wanted black cats. But if you had a different color, if you dyed this pillowcase, or if you had a different color pillowcase, you could do white cats, you could do brown cats, you could do cats of every color. Okay, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I'm going to pull out my embossing tool, which gets a lot warmer. But I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to boil the ink. But this is just a little warmer. It's going to dry this a little faster. It's young enough for me to still, aww. I could probably rock Gabby and Cassette, but it would be a little awkward. Okay. 27 kittens in the catter. Oh, you both have, that's right, you both have, well, it's not your cattery, but it's who you work for. Joanne has a little cattery of her own going on. She's got, how many do you have? 6, 8 cats? Kittens? You know what causes that, Joanne? Oh, 10 months old. Aww. Get Pippa a new kitten. We have thought about it. I don't think Pippa would enjoy a new kitten, actually. I think the dogs would enjoy a new kitten. I may become co-owner. Woo! If things go the way we plan. Okay, you only have permission to do that if it doesn't take away from your chalking and crafting time. Tell your boss or prospective co-owner that I said that. It can only help out the chalking crafting supply envelope. Joanne, have you tried this out yet? Not the ink, but the... I know, she's always busy doing something. I might just have to come down there in February and make you do it. Okay. So it's feeling, a couple little spots are still a little tacky. I love those kitties. You can see them. Now the cool part about this is if you wanted to do a bigger project, you can line up this edge of the transfer with this edge of the transfer, and you could do an entire wall. You could do an entire bathroom in these stacked cats. Okay, I think that is dry enough. There's a couple little spots that might be a little tacky, but not too bad. Okay, so I'm going to get my pressing mat out so I don't cook my cutting mat underneath here. And I'm going to get out some parchment paper, not wax paper. That won't work. That'll make a big mess. And I'm going to use my Cricut Easy Press, but you can use a regular household iron for this also. Okay, so I'm going to get... So I'll explain in a moment. Okay, so I want to put parchment paper down to protect the plate of my iron, just in case any of this ink is still wet. I don't want it to melt to the bottom of my iron plate. Okay, so I'm setting this at 350 degrees, and it's about to turn off, and I'm going to set it in place. I'm probably going to have to do it like 4 different sections to fill up this whole thing. But I'm going to set it in place for about 30 seconds. And then I'll pick it up and move it to the next place. Okay, so set the timer, go. Okay, I don't have to move it around. It doesn't need pressure. It just needs the heat. If you don't have one of these, you don't have to have it. Take a regular household iron, no water in it. You don't want steam, and you want to set it to medium high. Or if it's one of the fancy ones and has a temperature gauge, you want it around 350 degrees. And you want to move that iron around for about 4 minutes. The reason you move a household iron around is they are meant for steam, and on that bottom plate it's got holes where the steam comes out. Now if you just set that iron down and didn't move it, it would distort the fabric where those steam holes are. So you don't want that. So with a household iron, you need to keep it moving so you don't get those holes imprinted in your fabric. Hope that makes sense. Yes, and if you have an easy press, or even if you have a big heat press for like t-shirts and whatnot, that works great. 350, 30 seconds. And I will show you in a moment how you can tell if it is heat set. So I'm actually taking about 6 passes on this to get 30 seconds everywhere. I just have the small easy press, the 9-inch 9x9. Okay, so I'm going to pick that up and move it. And place it here, 30 more seconds. Okay, so to tell whether it is heat set, once it has cooled down, if you do this when it's still hot, it's going to feel tacky. But if you wait until it is cooled down and it no longer feels tacky at all, then it's heat set. Now there's a couple of little spots here that feel a little tacky, so I'm probably going to go over it again, just to be sure. Now once it's heat set, I can wash this, dry this, no special settings, just whatever the fabric requires. So if the fabric can't take hot water, then don't use hot water. But the ink can take hot water. Wash it according to your fabric's directions. Those are looking cute, Bill.
I am looking cute, aren't I?
You are looking cute. Okay, and one more little section here. And we are almost done. Feeding of the 5,000. Yep, that's what she does. I don't know if she has left already. Joanne lives on several acres. I don't know how many acres they live on. They are building a house, and they're kind of under a deadline to build a house. So they have tons of people at their place working on getting this house built. They're building it themselves. Okay, so I'm going to let this cool off. You can kind of feel it pretty hot. There's a couple little spots here on my parchment paper, so that tells me I probably needed to let it dry just a little bit more. But I'm going to go back over it. Another pass through just to make sure that ink is completely dry. Anyway, so that as part of it, because they're volunteers, so they feed their workers. So they probably got 100 people out there working, and that's one of Joanne's jobs, to feed them.
Depends on the day.
And they also at their place hold it's not a church, but they will hold a Bible study that many people attend, and they feed the people that come to the Bible study. I don't think this is Bible study night. I think this is just building the house night. So that's what she's doing, feeding the 5,000. So I don't know, it might be cheaper to just pay them, but Joanne's a crazy person, and if there were 5,000 people to be fed, she's the one to do it. She's a lot like her mother that way. Yeah. Not 100% of their labor has been free. It depends on who has what skills and who has what licenses. I know they've had to, have an electrician come out. They've had to, I think they've had to pay an electrician. Excuse me, here I am coughing into the microphone. Their son is a licensed plumber, so I know any plumbing stuff they've got covered. But. Okay, a couple more sections and then we will be done. I will stuff it for you. So who's gonna try a pillow and who's gonna try ink? Who out there is gonna give it a try? Speaking of trying, most of you, I didn't set that timer. It's good enough. I am bad at setting the timers. Most of you I know are already my designers, or I know you have used chalk. But if you're watching this and you have never used these supplies, I have a sample kit that is very affordably priced, and in it you get all the things that you need to make a cute little tag project. So you get a little transfer, and you get a squeegee, and you get a packet of paste, and you get this little, it's a chalk suede tag. So if you are interested at all in giving it a try, type sample in the comments and my bot will send you a link where you can purchase a sample kit. There's no tax, there's no shipping fee, one set price. So if you want to give it a try, type sample in the comments and we'll get you one of these out. It's a lot of fun. It is very easy. Tiny little learning curve that you can completely work out with your sample kit. You can make more than one project with your sample kit. You can find some other surfaces. You'll have plenty of paste and that transfer is reusable. So give that a try. Let me know. Okay. So I am done with that. It's hot. It is steaming. Okay, how are we all feeling tonight? Okay, yeah, I did. Oh, that was an old comment. This doesn't update. But I don't think we answered. We're feeling much better.
Feeling much better.
Went to the doctor today, but not because of being sick. It was a follow-up for something previous, but he did listen to my chest and he said, keep an eye on it. Could turn into pneumonia, but it could just get better too. Okay, so here is my pillow cover and I'm going to get my pillow.
Cheryl says she's going to try the ink.
Okay, you're going to try it on some, yes. Try it on something. Just get a pillowcase or something. Go to Dollar Tree and get a cheap pillowcase or a cheap t-shirt. And do you have the ink or is that something you need to order? Pick yourself out one color of ink, black or white, depending on what you think you would be using the most of. If you think you'd be using it more on light surfaces, get black ink. If you think you're going to use it on colored surfaces, get white ink. Or get your favorite color. There we go. It's going to go on my couch. It's my little Feline Fine.
Think Pippa will sit with it?
She just might.
If she does, we need to get a photo of that.
Okay, so cleanup is the same as with paste. However, because of the size of this, I'm not going to try to clean it here in front of you. I'm going to take this down to the bathtub and I'm going to stick it in the bathtub and I'm going to...
run the shower on it.
Well, I probably won't run the shower, but I'm going to run some water over it. I'm going to take my board eraser and I'm going to clean out that screen and get it all nice and clean. Let the sticky back air dry. Put it back on its paper liner. Put it away in its plastic, and I can reuse that minimum 10 to 12 times, even more if I take good care of it. So I could do this on the back. I could do something different on the back. You usually only see one side of a pillow at a time. So you don't have to have anything on the back. You don't have to have the same thing. I have one that I did a Christmas design on last year, but I only did one side. We have a new Christmas pattern, so I'm going to do the other side of that with the other Christmas pattern. So I'm not sure. I'm saving this side for something special that comes up. So, okay, good. You have the ink mats and everything you need. Okay, I give you 1 week to try the ink. Okay, and I want to see a picture of it in the VIP group. What you did, even if it's a failure, that's okay. Live and learn. Remember, if it bleeds through, check your adhesion of your transfer. Make sure that it is stuck down. If you're doing fabric, you don't want to fuzz it. You want that sticky to be on that fabric. So make sure it's adhered. Don't rub hard and don't go back and forth and around and around. Just go one direction. Just enough pressure to get it pushed through the screen, but not too much where you're causing it to bleed. Okay. Oh wait, who am I missing here? I don't know.
There's 3 people watching.
Oh. Well, we have a lurker maybe. Who knows?
I just haven't heard from some. Are you going to show them what I've been doing?
Okay, so anyway, I'll pose for this in a moment. Bill has been busy, and I showed you my sample kit, comment sample. If you're interested in these supplies, comment Feline. And we aren't quite ready to advertise this, but we have, do you have the transfer or is it upstairs?
We're pretty close.
No, the transfer.
The transfer? Okay.
Look in.
Let me get Daisy out of the way.
Okay, so we have a transfer, the mini transfers. 2 of them that we're working on. There's the Jingle All the Way minis and the Fall minis. I might only have one of the Fall minis, so just bring me the Jingle All the Way.
Here's the Jingle All the Way.
So we have a set of mini transfers. So it looks like this, and it comes with 12 different designs. Well, we now have a laser cutter that we can cut our own little wood shapes or whatever kind of shapes. Bill cut these on paper. So we are going to be working on some cutouts that go with this. So here's this little wreath, and here is going to be the shape of the cutout wood for that. So we're going to be putting together a little kit to make some ornaments. Let's see, those are, some of these are from the fall one. Here's one. It looks like a little clipboard on the cute list. So that goes on there, fits that perfectly.
This Home Believes.
This Home Believes.
There's
so
Santa Claus.
Okay. So that's what we are working on. Santa Claus. Little gift box. So stay tuned. We're going to be having some little wood cutouts that we're going to sell in little kits. We are not becoming a wood cutout company. Most of what I do, Bill is going to actually be his own little business. Most of what I do will be in conjunction with a transfer. But anyway, stay tuned. Good things are coming. So what laser did we get? What did we get? The X tool.
X tool.
We got the X tool.
20-watt diode laser, and I can buy other heads for it.
Okay, so anyway, Bill's having fun. Sometimes frustrating fun, sometimes just fun. Okay, so I think that is it for tonight. If you have any other questions, let us know. We'll continue to monitor the comments, but we're going to get off the live. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, thanks. We love having you. Keep in mind, commenting the things that I've mentioned won't get you an instant message on YouTube, but go ahead and comment it, and a human, me, will will notice your comment and send you the information that you are requesting. And so if you were watching with us live, it has a red box up here that says live. And if you aren't, if that box isn't there and you're watching the replay, let us know you watched. Comment #replay so we know that we had more of an audience. So thanks so much. I'm going to pose with this. I'm going to put my little head on my little kitty cat pillow.
That's so cute.
Feline fine. See you guys later. Have a